Trent, what will you remember most about this group of guys, this 53-man roster?
Just the experience with the guys, battling with each other. It's just a great group of guys, great character. So.
How do you plan on spending some of the offseason?
Training, trying to get better, be a better player than I was this year. And, just the usual.
I know you weren't planning on retiring and you said you were coming back, but is even more of that hunger kind of sparked back in you?
Yeah.
You had a chance to talk to Dre Greenlaw at all?
Oh, yeah, I talked to him. Yeah, it sucks, man. Sucks. Just praying for him, hoping for a speedy recovery.
Trent, having been through a deep postseason run before and then it not ending the way you wanted to, what's kind of your process just in terms of giving yourself time to mourn and then moving on and getting ready for next year?
You said it. You take a little time and move on and get ready for next year. Yeah.
You worked out with Spencer and some other young guys in the past. Is that the plan this offseason to sort of get a group together in Houston?
Yeah, I'm sure. My door is always open, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm sure. Like every year, I hopefully have some guys in. We can, all work together and plan on getting better.
How did you feel like those young guys performed in the biggest game?
Honestly, I hadn't looked at the game, so it'd be hard for me to tell you.
Are you going to wait on that till next season, or are you going to look soon?
What's that?
Look at the game.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'll look at it at some point. Football's over until, August, September, so I got a little time before I got to make corrections.
You guys have played some good defenses this year, Browns, Ravens. Where did the Chiefs sort of end up among your opponents?
They're pretty good. They won the Super Bowl, so pretty good. They beat Baltimore and beat everybody, so you got to say they're the best.
Christian told us that looking you in the eye specifically after the Super Bowl was a bit shocked. Have you reflected on what it's been like to play with him this season?
Yeah, this season, last season, he's the best in the world, so playing with a guy like that, obviously it gives you a chance to do something special. We had words, between us, but, I don't know how it can be on his shoulders, but, Brock's a guy. He's a hell of a player, will be for a long time. He's the face of the franchise. No, you got it.
Something on these lines, but, how previously that, when you get so close and then you don't make it, is it any more daunting to try it again next year?
No. At the end of the day, like you said, the feelings that shall pass, and once spring roll around, everybody gonna have that same hunger to get back and have a chance to try to win a Super Bowl.
What have the last 48 hours been like for you, just kind of emotionally? How have you kind of processed this?
Ups and downs. Not that fun.
Brandon, there's been some stuff on social media. Is there a certain message that you want to get out there as you kind of enter this offseason and there might be contract talks?
A certain message? No.
Is your hope to remain with the 49ers moving forward?
If that's the right move, yeah.
What would that right move look like for you?
Being a champion.
Brandon, at what point are you at this, right now, just digesting the season, where you guys are, how it went?
All over the place, just like different emotions all day. I don't know.
Have you watched it back yet, or still kind of too fresh?
Yeah, I haven't even watched it yet, so it's just all the emotions and stuff from the season, and just showing my love to my guys, my teammates. That's where my focus has been. But when the time is right, I'll watch it. And
Is there a play that sticks out to you, a regret that you have about a play that possibly was there that you guys just couldn't make?
I mean, there's things that happen, throughout the game, like second half. I just wish, we would have been on, with the opportunities that we had with, their turnovers or our defense getting stops. I just keep thinking about, those 3 and outs that we had, and one opportunity we had to go take control of the game. And so, there's a couple plays where, I think I would have hit BA on some of the reads. But outside of that, it's just a culmination of the whole game. Like, you could have done a million things, right? And so, at the end of the day, it's a team sport, man. And as a team, I think we all could have done a little bit better in some areas and stuff. But we win and lose together. So
you mentioned the Chiefs playing man-to-man coverage, a lot more man-to-man coverage than you were expecting. Was that one of the reasons why, maybe the throws to BA and throws to Deebo were not as prevalent as they normally are?
Yeah, I think just whatever our play call was, and then obviously them playing man. Maybe it wasn't something that we just weren't expecting a whole lot of, and they. It's a credit to the Chiefs, secondary. They did a good job with getting hands on our guys pretty early and really just being sticky and being right on them. So that's just sort of how it goes. I think we all have to learn from it and understand what we can do better next time, because I feel like teams will obviously watch it and try to have that kind of plan for the next season. So that's just sort of how it went. We got to learn from it, but I still feel like regardless, we still had opportunities to win the game outside of them just playing man coverage. But they did it well, and it's a credit to them.
On that play, in hindsight, were you supposed to go to Juwan there, or if you could known that pre-snap that McCaffrey could be coming, could you have gone to Aiyuk?
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I'm supposed to read it inside out. JJ was hot, and feel like going to him in a man-to-man situation is sort of what I was thinking. But with him blitzing, I think there was an opportunity for me to hit BA there, and that's something that I have to learn from and be real with myself about. I told BA obviously, man, wish I would have hit you there, or at least attempted to go to you. But I mean, at practice, I've hit the outside slant a million times in that cover 0, and having our receiver win outside. And obviously I trusted JJ to win a contested ball like it was going to be. So that's just what happened in the moment.
There were a handful of times they had free runners coming through the game. I know sometimes that's just a numbers game. You can't get enough blockers on. But were there communication issues at all with protection or anything that you could sense throughout the game?
I mean, yeah, there were some things, but that's just the game of football, man. Defenses do a good job with disguising things or dialing things up and catching us off guard. I feel like everybody's mindset and the offense going into the game was where it needed to be. We were prepared, but the Chiefs did a good job scheming things up and like I said, catching us off guard at some points, and that's part of the game. That's football. So for me to have to move around and extend stuff if there's a guy up the middle or whatever, that's part of it. Obviously, you don't want that to be the case all the time, but they did a good job. But that's just how it went.
So, on the 3rd and 4 that you're talking about, I mean, Chris Jones was only fast. Maybe you're saying you still could have made a quicker decision. Is that right?
I think that was a different. Are you talking about the?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, different ones. Yeah. That one. You saw.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 at the 9 in overtime.
Yeah, I mean that one. Yeah, that was a tough situation there. I don't know if I could have made a quicker decision or not. I was trying to be safe with the ball, and obviously JJ opened up, but I didn't know where the corner was at by the time I released the ball, and I was trying to be safe and smart with it, and knew that we can get a field goal on the next down. So that's where my mindset was at. But just throughout the game before that, there were some other plays where it happens and you got to make a play. So that's what I meant by that.
Were you aware of the new overtime rules in the moment that the Chiefs were going to get the ball back no matter what, or were you under the impression you were driving down for the win potential?
No, I knew. Before that, I asked Greasy on the sideline before we went into overtime, hey, just to clarify, what are the rules? And he goes, it's the playoffs. So he explained the rules to me and everything. So I had an understanding of it.
Do you have to, Brock, when you woke up Monday morning, what was the first thing you thought of?
Obviously the game, us, how we came up short. Obviously it's a sucky feeling, but I also am trying to have the perspective of, all right, this is happening for a reason. You know, it's all part of all of our stories and stuff and our testimonies. So that's sort of the hope that I have for it. And more than anything, just being grateful for the kind of season that we had with the guys in this locker room, this team, this organization. You know, we got to the Super Bowl. We went to overtime. We fell short of it. It sucks. We wanted it. We gave our all this year. But, man, I had the opportunity to do it with some really good people, and I'm thankful for that.
What maintenance do you have to do on your arm this offseason, Brock? And obviously it's going to be, you'll have more time, I guess, to prepare for this coming season since you won't be going through full rehab last year.
Yeah, it'll be nice to, you know, sort of work on my craft, get a real legit offseason in. Obviously last year, season ended, surgery, rehab, trying to get back for the season. So it was just all so fast and going a million miles an hour. So for me to be able to take a step away for a little bit and then I think just work on my mobility, obviously continuing with my arm strength and all that will be huge for me. So I'm excited, you know, to get better, like truly get better at my craft.
Christian, about 48 hours after the game, how have you been able to process your emotions and then seeing the guys here today? Obviously, there's some finality to this season. Just give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's still tough, still stings and hurts. You know, I think that right now, just it's okay to feel like this, but eventually we're going to have to move on and get ready to go for next year.
How long does it take that process of moving on?
Good question. Yeah, I have no idea.
How different is it from last year? Obviously, you had a disappointing last year too. How is that process going to be different, you think?
I don't know. I think you just take it one day at a time, just like anything. And, you know, every day you just wake up, try to be the best version of yourself.
Do you have plans for this offseason?
No, right now, no. Yeah, just I think get away for a little bit, get your mind right, get your body right, and then get back to it.
When you think about that last offensive possession, what goes through your mind? Stalled.
Talking about ours?
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think there's so many things to look back on that game that you just want back. You know, obviously for me, I think just putting the ball on the ground is something I keep replaying in my head, just can't do it. And, you know, there's a lot of different plays that we could have made and we didn't, and we fell up short, and I think it hurts, but that's life.
Considering this won't be the same roster next year, what did you enjoy most about this particular group this season?
I appreciated the bond. I appreciated how hard everyone works. I think this was a really special group in that sense, and a lot of guys put a lot on the line and played with a lot of, you know, tough things going on, and did it with intensity, did it with urgency, and I'll always appreciate that. You know, if you know somebody's got your back and the guy next to you is fighting for you and he's doing everything he can to play, and you know what they're going through, you know what they're battling through, I can always appreciate that, and I think this team had that, and I think the effort was there. Just, you know, got to finish it at the end, but I'll always appreciate that about this team. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. You know, I think, like I said, I'm just taking it one day at a time right now.
How's your health?
Good.
Nope.
Feel great.
Does the experience of having played in the Super Bowl give you a different kind of hunger to get back there, or same as it always was?
Yeah, I think you're always hungry. That's the feeling you always want. I think when you get there, you now know what the deal is. But I think it definitely makes you more hungry, and it definitely hurts worse.
Considering Brock came in with his arm issue going in, how did you just overall rate Brock's season and what he did from training camp to lead you guys to the Super Bowl playing really well?
Yeah, I think what he did was historic and unbelievable, man. I mean, I think people forget, you know, he was a rookie quarterback that was the last pick of the draft and came in, you know, midway through his season, and then had to get an elbow surgery in the offseason. So his real first year of starting in the NFL, he didn't throw a football till training camp to one of us. So it's pretty impressive what he managed to do, and then to be the MVP of our team was, you know, pretty incredible. Lucky he's on our team.
Christian, with your dad being on the stage so many times before, was there any advice that he gave you after the game, or just words that stuck out?
My dad always gives me, great advice and always has the right things to say. I mean, I just appreciate that, he's there for me. I appreciate my whole family. I think in times of adversity, you find out, who's on your team. And I'm just so lucky that I got such a great family. And obviously my dad, having experienced a lot of different things, he knows what this is like. So I'm just appreciative of my support system.
Since the last couple of days.
Hung out with my friends and family, my teammates. That's about it, just play a long season. It's not fun to, not achieve your goal at the end of the year. Very proud of, what we did, how we did it, all the guys on the team, staff, But, we're all just disappointed, but not discouraged.
When did you hurt your shoulder?
I'm not really sure. Sometime in the second half, I would say, I think. Yeah, not in the first half, sometime in the second half.
And you went back to the locker room. What did you have done in the locker room?
I got a really good hug from my trainer, and I was good to go after that.
Was it separated?
No, I haven't gotten anything on it, so I have no idea. I just got back, so I have no idea.
George, when you were... Go ahead.
How hard is it for you to separate like how great the season was and how successful it was, and then have the end be not ideal?
It's a great question. I would say it takes time. I would say, it's okay to be upset, disappointed. That's totally fine. You just don't want to let that affect, other aspects of your life or let that, affect the rest of your year by any means. And, it takes time to accept it, absorb it, whatever the word is you want to use for it. And then you'll find a way to, channel it, use it, or, just be able to flush it and be able to move on and, attack the next stage.
Are there any plays or sequences or just things from this game that you kind of look back on and just go, man, if only this had happened, we would have won this game?
I do that with almost every football game. I would say, I haven't watched the tape yet. They actually just took my iPad, so I won't be able to watch it besides the TV version. But no, there were plenty of opportunities for us, and we didn't play our cleanest ball on offense. So I think I think everyone will be disappointed in that, but nothing off the top of my head.
George, last time you were here, you said, I will be back, I will be back. Is there anything you muttered to yourself this time around?
More to give, maybe. I don't know. No, when they scored, pretty sound. Not really much to react to. Just kind of walked off the field with teammates.
Considering that the roster will not be the same, it's impossible. How do you remember this group? How will you think about them later on, and just what did you enjoy most about playing with these men?
What I enjoyed most, I really enjoyed, we won a lot of games. We worked really hard. Guys had great mindsets every single day. I would say also, there wasn't a single guy in the locker room that I didn't like. The linebackers got annoying sometimes, but that's just them, and I applaud them for that. So I thoroughly enjoyed everyone's friendship. I enjoyed sitting in the sauna with everybody and having conversations about random stuff. Just learning about people. I just thought genuinely we had a very, very high character team, and it was just fun to build relationships with everybody.
You mentioned the offense sputtered and didn't play its best. Why do you think that was? Without looking at the film, considering how good the offense was all year.
Like I said, I haven't seen the tape. I felt like we were in first and 15 and second and 15 a lot, and it's hard to stick to the run. If you're dealing with that type of stuff, that's just kind of what it felt like. I haven't watched anything, so I don't know if the second and third quarter weren't our prettiest forms of football. But, I just kind of felt like we were always just kind of playing a little bit behind the chains, and that's where we struggled at in other, times of the season.
You do have a lot of playmakers on offense, but is there a part of you that's disappointed that you didn't get the ball in your hands more than you did?
I love catching the ball. I love helping the team. I trust Kyle and, what the plays that he's calling. We have a lot of explosive guys. I love getting the football. If I don't, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to affect the game in other areas.
George, tell us what you thought of when you woke up Monday morning. What went through your head?
I was really hungry. I didn't go to bed till 6, so I was hungry. I got some food with my wife. That's about it.
What did you say to her?
Good morning.
When you guys get back together in a few months here for the offseason program or training camp, how do you see this team? Do you see it as a big-time championship contender that a huge amount of the core is coming out?
I would say so. I feel like we have a lot of guys who are still on contract. Brock's on his rookie deal. I think we have a lot of guys who play football at a very high level. And so, yeah, I have Nick Bosa coming back, right? Yeah, I think we can win a lot of football games.
George, how much has the sense of the Chiefs obviously had so much success and been there at the end? I know you guys always want to win your division first, but like, is there motivation of like this is going to be the team that we're probably going to have to get past at some point that'll kind of motivate you in the offseason?
I haven't thought about that at all. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, I don't really take a lot to get motivated. So like I'll be attacking it the way that I always do, because I love the game of football and I love putting myself out there on Sundays with my boys.
Is there one play that comes to mind towards the end where you thought, if I cut this or block this?
I mean, the offense was so good all year. Didn't quite play as well in the Super Bowl. Like, is there any reason why? I
don't know.
Deebo, you've unfortunately made some deep postseason runs here and probably gotten used to kind of having to put it behind you. What's that process like for you?
Like right now, I mean, it's kind of hard to put it behind. I mean, I just deal with it day by day.
Do you take any solace in looking around the locker room and seeing that, all the key guys, most of the key guys are under contract and aren't going anywhere, and you guys should be good again next season?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. And, me personally, knowing Kyle and Judd and Jed, they're going to do their best to get everybody back that we can. And, we just get ready for next season whenever it comes.
I don't really want to ask you to rank your disappointments, in your career, but at the same time, it seems like a lot of guys feel like this one has been really hard. Would you say that's kind of been the case for you too?
Yeah, this one real tough. This was a tough one.
We have asking you to rank your ultimate football disappointments, but it seems like the majority of the guys are kind of saying that this one hurts. Can you pinpoint why this one is so much worse?
Yeah, I think it's because we know what an incredible opportunity we had at our hands, and feel like this is definitely the most talented group that we've ever had. And so, you feel like you squandered a good opportunity.
It's just one thing that comes back to your mind late in the game. You think, we've just done this, or if I had done that, maybe the outcome's different.
No, honestly not. Because there's so many things that happen in a football game that is never one thing. So I'm not going to give you a one specific thing that would have changed the outcome, because there's a million things. So I would just say in general, we could have played a lot better on offense. So that's really kind of my biggest focus, is I just feel like as a group, we didn't perform well.
Brock talked about Kansas City's defense being very sticky, playing man, etc. Yeah. Was that a big problem during that game?
They have a good defense that is very aggressive. They like to play their corners at the line of scrimmage. Their linebackers are downhill, and that can be an issue for a lot of teams. And I respect them as defense, and I think they're a very good defense. So I think that contributed in us not having our best game on offense, but that doesn't lower my expectations of what we should have done out there. I still think we should have scored a lot more points on them.
I know it's a little early to think about, but with pretty strong core of you guys returning,
yeah.
Do you already have kind of get the feeling like we can run this back?
I always feel that way. I think we have just such a, like you said, an incredible core that I think every year we can run it back. But it's the hardest thing. I spoke about it with you guys last year after the NFC Championship. You want to snap your fingers and be back in the NFC Championship, and that's what I want to do right now. I want to snap my fingers and be back in the Super Bowl. But I know it's not how it works, and there's so much work that needs to be done in between that. And right now, my body, my mind, is not ready to think about that. But I also know that it will be ready. That this is my life, this is my career, this is what I do. At the end of any season, you're worn down, but your body always seems to know when it's time to turn it back on. And I know months from now, when we start practicing again, my body's gonna know, all right, this is what we do, we get back into it. So it's a process, and right now I'm just at that process of just a little bit of grief, a little time away, and just focus on other things.
What's your philosophy on that? I mean, if you're still at the top of your game, which you obviously are,
Yeah.
would you step away at that point, or would you want to
Yeah, no,
go out on a high? Or
that's a great question, and anytime anyone's ever asked me, about retirement or anything like that, I always say I'm going to go until the wheels fall off, and I may do that. You just never know. You never know. It's you got to just reevaluate at the end of every season. But I'll definitely say I am nowhere close to that point in my career. I feel fantastic. Body feels like I'm still in my mid-20s, so I'm going to continue to do this as long as I can.
Kyle, it seemed like you were dropping hints at Super Bowl week that the end was near a little bit.
No, I really wasn't. I just think maybe with I'm not going to say my age, with my experience, that I just feel like I have such a just a different perspective on how much this all means to me, and that I just don't take any of it for granted, and how hard it is to do what we've done and all those sort of things. I just am a little more emotional about that stuff. So I didn't mean it as any hints that this was the last run by any means. Even if we won this game, I'm trying to win a couple more. So
I guess the overall theme is so many players go to the Super Bowl early in their career and never make it back. So
yeah.
You kind of cherish each opportunity a little bit more.
Exactly. I think that's a good word. I definitely cherish these opportunities a little bit more, and because I have that perspective on how hard it is to do.